You weren't ignored because you were weak. You were ignored because you hadn't decided who you were yet. The moment you stop asking for permission, the world starts negotiating with you. They underestimated you because you stayed quiet. Silence is only dangerous when it's followed by action. You don't need to become cruel. You just need to stop being harmless. The world doesn't fear good people. It fears people who finally choose themselves. You spent years being reasonable. Look where that got you. Power isn't loud, it's calm, calculated, and already 3 steps ahead. You weren't meant to be liked. You were meant to be respected, and there's a price for that. The day you stop explaining yourself is the day you stop losing. They called you dangerous the moment you stopped being controllable.
You don't rise by being good. You rise by being necessary.
You don't need revenge. Success will do the talking and the silencing. The version of you they fear is the version that no longer needs them. Most people fail because they want comfort and dominance at the same time. You stayed small so others could feel big. That era is over. If they remember you as the villain, it means you finally won. You were never broken. You were just waiting for permission to stop caring. Be careful who you become when you're finally done being disrespected. You weren't invisible, you were watching, learning, waiting. They mistook your patience for fear. That mistake is going to cost them. You didn't change, you woke up. This isn't your downfall, this is your transformation. Everyone applauds humility until it stops benefiting them. You didn't want power, you wanted to stop feeling small. The world rewards those who stop apologizing for taking space. You tried being good, it didn't save you. There's a version of you that scares people, and that's the one you've been avoiding. Control isn't domination, it's knowing you'll be fine without anyone. You weren't meant to blend in, you were meant to change the room. They don't hate you for changing, they hate you for remembering your worth. Power doesn't corrupt, it reveals who was pretending. The calmest person in the room is usually the most dangerous. You stopped chasing approval and suddenly everything shifted. You don't need to threaten. Your presence already does. You were never too much, you were just in the wrong room. The moment you stop explaining yourself is the moment they start paying attention. They don't fear your anger, they fear your clarity. You don't rise by destroying others. You rise by becoming undeniable. You didn't lose your innocence, you traded it for awareness. You're not becoming someone else, you're becoming honest. They'll call you cold because you stopped bleeding for free. You don't need permission to become who you were meant to be. The old you wanted peace, the new you wants control. This isn't ego, this is self-respect without negotiation. You didn't fail because you lacked talent. You failed because you stayed loyal to people who outgrew you. Being nice kept you safe. Being honest will make you powerful. You weren't scared of change, you were scared of being seen. The world didn't break you. It showed you how little it cares. You learned discipline the hard way, through disappointment. You don't crave control, you crave certainty. You didn't lose your morals. You stopped letting them be used against you. There's a version of you that no longer explains, apologizes, or waits. Once you realize nothing is coming to save you, everything changes. You stopped dreaming because reality demanded strategy. You don't need to prove yourself. You need to position yourself. The strongest move you ever made was staying calm while everything burned. People confuse kindness with weakness until consequences arrive. You don't threaten, you let outcomes speak. You learned silence is louder than arguments. They don't recognize you anymore because you stopped shrinking. You're not ruthless, you're precise. The moment you stopped reacting, you started winning. You don't need revenge. Distance already hurt them. You became dangerous the day you stopped needing closure. You didn't change sides, you changed standards. They remember the old you because the new you doesn't need them. You're not heartless, you're finally selective. Power isn't taking from others, it's refusing to be taken from. This isn't arrogance, this is self-respect that survived pain. You didn't stay small because you were humble. You stayed small because it was safer. People loved you most when you needed them. You weren't lost, you were undecided. Your biggest mistake wasn't trusting them. It was trusting them longer than the truth. You didn't ignore the signs, you negotiated with them. The day you stopped hoping was the day you started building. You didn't harden overnight, you adapted. You don't feel empty, you feel focused. Once you accept that fairness is optional, strategy becomes clear. You didn't become cold, you became accurate. You don't need to be liked when you're necessary. Your calm scares people who rely on chaos. You stopped reacting, eyes, and suddenly they lost control.